Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Now we will go for the next experiment, that is color codes for network cable crimping. Color codes for network cable crimping, that is called as preparation of Ethernet cable. So I already told you about the cable. The cable definition is nothing but it's two or more strands of wire with a new insulation on it, then it is called a cable. Means two or more wires together is called a cable, we can say. Here this Ethernet cable, which is used for your internet or file data transfer, file transfer, we can say. In between the server and clients are two different computers, two different laptops, which is connected between through switch, hub and rotor. So this cable is required, that is called network cable. Generally that cable is Cat 6, Cat 5. Cat 6 is generally used for better speed of the data. So we will call it as network cable, and actual name is, scientific name is Ethernet cable for that cable name, Ethernet cable. So what are the items we require to prepare that network cable is Ethernet cable, maybe Cat 6 or Cat 5 cable, where it must have 8 wires inside. For telephone we need only 2 wires, but for the LAN, local area network, 8 wires it must have for fast speed transfer, fast transfer of files and in high speed. So we need 8 wires of cable, that is called Ethernet cable, and we need RJ45 pin. This pin, RJ45 pin, RJ11 pin also there, where only 2 strands of wires or 4 strands of wires are connected. So this is your RJ45 pin, where it holds 8 wires, 8 strands of wires. It holds RJ45. Next we need a crimping tool. Crimping tool already we studied, we saw in the previous experiment. It is used to remove the insulation of a wire, and it can be used to prepare a network cable. So in this we have 2 parts in crimping tool. One part is blade part, where 2 blades are there. To complete to cut the complete cable we use the down blade, and to cut only or remove the insulation we use the above blade. Both blades we have, you can see. Now the above part, where we have 3 holes are there. One is 8 pin, 4 pin and 2 pin. So by placing this RJ45 is 8 pin or 8 wire pin, we can use the center one. For having 4 pin, this is also a small local area network we can use, and the 2 pin we can use for the telephone connection for RJ11. So this RJ45 is 8 pin one, we use the center one. So it has 2 purposes. One is crimping, means making the network cable, and removing the insulation. 2 purposes we have. Now what we are doing in this, to prepare Ethernet cable using crimping tool. Now before going to the practice session, first we will study what it has, what are the different types of crimpings. Now see how RJ45 plug is look like. This is RJ45 plug, how it look like. In this whole 8 wire all together will go inside at a time, and we will crimp with this crimping tool. So step by step we will study, and all the 8 wires are like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, all 8 wires are there here, where for each Ethernet cable 8 wires are here and 8 wires are here. This is straight through Ethernet cable, this is crossover Ethernet cable. So we have 2 types of crimping, that is straight through and crossover. Now where we use this straight through and crossover, and what are the functions? Now a good way of remembering how to wire crossover Ethernet. Crossover is to wire one end using T568A strand, that is one side of the Ethernet cable, and other end using T568B strand. Another way of remembering the color coding is to simplify switch the green set of wires in place with the orange set of wires other side, crossover. So switch the solid green with the solid orange. Step by step I will explain. So when you open when you remove the insulation of a Ethernet cable, these many wires are there. So this is your Ethernet cable. I can show it. I cut for the sample. It's having very lengthy. Depends upon the application. We can cut the wire. It may be of 500 meters, 200 meters. Depends. Whatever we need, we can cut it. So these wire, what are the colors? White, orange, orange, white, green, blue, green, white, brown, brown. These are the different colors of wires inside the Ethernet cable. I will show in a while. Now coming to first theory part, that is what are the applications of crossover and what are the application of straight throw. So here I already told you we have two types of crimping, straight throw crimping and crossover crimping. Now applications, the straight throw crimping is used for hub to switch, router to computer, hub to computer. It means when your internet or when your file sharing or file transferring series starts, from where it will start? From the server. From the server it will come to the hub and it will come to the switch and it will come to the computer or laptop where there is the client end. So server to the client we have in between. It may have hub, many hubs, or it may have many rotors, many switches and many cables it run through. So if you want to connect in between hub to the switch, router to the computer, hub to the computer, means two different devices we are connecting, then we will use straight throw crimping. Now crossover. So where we use crossover? Now let us take for one switch there is a one incoming and outgoing means outputs are 5 computers. We can connect to the 5 output devices, means 5 LAN connections are coming, local internet connections are coming out from one input. Now if we want another 5, so what we have to do? We have to use another switch and there will also be a one incoming and 5 outgoing. 5 outgoing is okay. 5 outgoing of the first switch and second switch is okay. But what about the incoming? Because for the first switch, incoming is from the far distance. Now we cannot use the another cable, that is Ethernet cable, from the same distance for the second switch. It is waste of money and waste of time. So for that what we are doing? We are having a loop between first switch and second switch and we use crossover. We use crossover crimping. In this only the color codes means the wire switching will be there. If 8 wires of 1 to 8 are connected in one fashion, in other end the fashion will be different. Starting 2 wires will be switched to the ending 2 wires. So that we are not going to in depth. We are only studying here straight throw crimping. But you know where it is used. For crossover crimping we use same 2 devices, hub to hub, switch to switch, workstation to workstation, computer to computer. So like the 2 same devices are there, we use crossover crimping. If 2 different devices we are using for the file transfer or internet, we use straight throw. Okay, so this is about your theory part. Now step by step we will go for the practical session, how to prepare a network cable. So what is a network cable? It must have 8 wires inside. Now if we come to the procedure, this cable, network cable, LAN cable, Cat6 cable will have 8 strands of wire inside. So for these 2 sides we have to connect the RJ45 pin and properly crimp it. Then the cable is ready for use. So for that procedure, first step, remove 2-inch insulation, 1 and 2, 2-inch insulation or cover of this Ethernet cable. So for that what I told, the down blade is used to cut completely the cable or wire. The above blade is used to cut only the small portion or insulation of the this one. There in this you can see a half circle, half circle shape is there. So in that you can put the this Ethernet cable and just slightly press, not much press, slightly press. You have to be careful. The blade must touch that insulation because the thickness of that cover or insulation is very thin, very small. If you press more the blade, it will cut inside the wires. So be careful. Just rotate, slowly rotate slowly rotate. Now see it. Just check. Yeah, it will come out. See, the insulation is coming out. I have removed the top cover or top insulation. Now be careful. Just once again look where the wire is cut or not. No, it's not cut. Then okay. If any strand of wire is slightly or half cut, also what we have to do? Completely we have to remove this strands of wire up to this part. Again go to the remaining wire, another 2 inches you have to remove the insulation. Why? Because out of the 8 strands, if one of the wire also is cut or removed due to our mistakes, so what happens? There is no use of connecting, or there is no use of using the remaining 7. It will not serve the purpose. So okay, now see here, all 4 pairs of wires are there. 4 pairs. 2, 2, 2, 2. Now what is this? This is the base insulation or base plastic. Just you have to use this complete cut blade and remove this one. Okay. Now what is the next step? First step is over. That is removing 2-inch insulation of a network cable. Okay. Now next step. Just open this twin wire. That is, further there is a technique. Hold your 2 fingers on this top so that it will open and rotate this wire. Do not open. See, or you can open like this. The problem is here the wire is not straight. You have to make that each wire straight in nature. See, you have to make it straight. Now, same thing. So make it straight. Same thing this side. Open it. Same last one. What we are doing? We are removing or we are opening the twin wires and making straight, preparing for the crimping. So this, like this, we have to prepare. You can say all are straight, no wire is twisted. Now, what is the next step? Second step is over. Third step is arrange the wires in this color order, because an engineer will follow some steps and rules, so that if we are using one order of the colors or one step, then other has to understand that one. If other engineer is there to renew it or to repair it, he must know what are the order you follow. So for that we have universal order, that is arrange the color from left to right: white, orange, orange, white, green, blue, green, white, brown and brown. So here to remember, you just check white, orange and orange. Both are twin cables, twin wires, and white, brown and brown. Both are twin wires. Both are, all these 4 are beside to each other. But in between, white, green and green are not side by side. White, blue and white, blue, they are not like a white, blue and blue, just reverse. So just remember, first two and last two are same order, that is white, orange and orange, white brown and brown. In between just reverse it, that is white green, it should not be a green, it should be a blue. Next white blue, it should not be a blue, it should be a green. So just arrange it, just 2 minutes it will finish. Now first what we need, from left to right. First white orange, see the colors, all colors are there. One wire is with a multicolor, that is white and orange. Second wire is complete orange. Next white green. Next blue, not the green, so be careful. Now white blue. Now it is green. White orange, white brown and brown. Now make side by side, all the wires, strands of the wire should be side by side. Be careful, it should be side by side. Okay. Now if you see these wires, one is big, one is small, one is lengthy, one is not to that height. So what we have to do, we have to make it equal. Just use the crimping tool, the down blade, where it can cut the complete cable or wire. Just cut and make it equal in. Okay, now all strands of wires are equal. Now in this, just observe white, orange. Once again check the colors, because once you insert inside the this one crimping or RJ45, you cannot reverse the procedure. So again check from left to right, white orange, orange, white green, blue, white blue, green, white brown, brown. Now this is your crimping, this RJ45 pin. What we are doing, the copper, visible copper, it should be on the above side and the notch should be downside, the notch. Now from left to right, and copper should be on the above side. Just place inside slowly, all 8 wires should go inside at a time and push it. And 2 steps are, you have to cross verify here. In 2 steps you can cross verify. One is just check all the wires are through those holes and came to end. We can observe here all the 8 wires are came. The next step is again cross check the color codes. White orange, orange, white green, blue, white blue, green, white brown, brown. Okay. Now you can crimp it. After finishing these 2 checks, we can use this crimping tool. I told you we have 3 options here: 2 pin, 8 pin and 4 pin. This is a 8 pin. So you can use this crimping tool and place inside and make press, so that it will strongly connect. How it is connecting? See, it is connected. Now the copper is placed, each copper strips are placed on each hole. Strips are placed. Now when the wire is inside the holes, all 8 holes, when we press these copper strips by using crimping tool, the copper strip is vertical, 90 degrees to the ground, vertical, and it will cut that insulation of each wire and it touch inside copper of each wire. So all 8 copper strips will touch the copper of each wire in each hole. So that how a RJ45 pin works. It will touch the copper. If we are not pressing much, then what happens? That copper will not cut the insulation and it will not touch the copper inside the wire. Then there is no connection established. So be careful. Use more force to crimp it. Now for that, check whether the crimping is perfect or not. We have a cable tester. So here we can place one side of the RJ45 and other side of the RJ45 in one place and other place. So if the cable is big length, we can use separately like this. And for testing, what we are doing, we are just switching on this and we are checking, here lights are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here also lights are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if one of light is glown with 1 here, then the connection is good, and 2 is with 2, the connection is good, 3 with 3, the connection is good, up to 8 is 8. So each wire should connected from right end to the left end on the same slot or same hole, that is hole number 1 to hole number 8. Then the light will glow here, 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 2, 3 to 3, 8 to 8. If the wires are jumbled or not in the proper holes it is placed, then the light will glow. Maybe here first light will glow and parallelly here it will go 4th or 5th light. So the first connection is gone to the 5th connection of the other end. So be careful. That's why we use the cable tester for testing whether the connection is proper or not. Okay. So this is your observation table where the display of light we are checking in the cable tester. On the one side of the cable, light should come with the second side, second to second, third to third, fourth to fourth, 5 to 5, 6 to 6, up to 8 to 8. So like this we will prepare a network cable. So Ethernet cable is prepared with crimping tool by following color code sequence of 8 strands of cable and tested using network tester. Okay, thank you for listening.